In today's news, Miss Universe BVI dazzles at preliminary competition. And BDO Schools Football League returns after 5-year absence. $100 million loan enough to provide a BVI with a first-class infrastructure. And Claude Cline weighs in on upcoming election. Well, viewers, these and more stories when 284 News return.
Hon, it's asking for your password.
Huh?
You were logged out. I need the password.
BR.
What's the rest?
BRANDI, the number 4, EVER?
Who's Brandy?
We're like the password that isn't your ex-girlfriend's name. CG Insurance. Good like that.
I should have changed it.
You should have.
You're right.
Freeze. Choose your mix. Choose your flavor.
Welcome viewers to the Thursday, January 12th edition of 284 News. I am Kamal Haynes, bringing you the latest out of the British Virgin Islands. While leading today's news, viewers, Miss Universe BVI Leah Claxton participated in the first round of the competition for the 71st Miss Universe International pageant on Wednesday night. One more in this report.
Leah Claxton, British Virgin Islands!
Miss Universe British Virgin Islands Leah Claxton took the stage at the Miss Universe 2023 preliminary competition on the evening of January 11th. Claxton was one of 84 delegates to make their first impression on this year's judges as she took the stage in 3 categories: national costume, swimwear, and evening wear. Proudly representing the territory, Claxton appeared in the national costume segment in a costume depicting the BVI's national flower, the white cedar.
British Virgin Islands. The white cedar is the national flower of the British Virgin Islands. They are often pink and can be found in clusters throughout the spring and summer. The costume have 5 petals highlighted with a yellow splash in the center. She looked like the leader of every white cedar. British Virgin Islands.
The 19-year-old held her own among talented beauties from across the world, many of which succeeded her in age. In the swimsuit segment, she showed off her modeling skills as the announcer highlighted her sports background.
British Virgin Islands. Leah fell in love with track and field after joining a running club in the aftermath of Hurricanes Irma and Maria. Last year, this 19-year-old earned the title of BVI 5K National Female Champion, British Virgin Islands.
And during the evening wear segment, she stunned as she graced the stage in a beautiful silver gown.
British Virgin Islands. 19-year-old Leah is currently pursuing an English degree with a concentration in writing and rhetoric. This certified scuba diver volunteers at a child care center and would like to be a lawyer in the future.
The 71st Miss Universe pageant finals will be held on Saturday, January 14th. For 284 News, I am Jacques Winning.
Moving on, viewers, after a 5-year absence, the BDO Limited Primary and Secondary Schools Football League has made a return with games to commence from January through March 2023. To officially launch the recommencement of the league, participating schools gathered in the area of Waterfront Drive on Tortola at around 3 p.m. on Wednesday and marched throughout surrounding areas across Road Town with their final destination, the A.O. Shirley Recreation Ground. Well, there, a ceremony was held that featured many dignitaries, including Governor His Excellency John Rankin, Premier Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley, Sports Minister Honorable Shari De Castro, Health Minister Honorable Marlon Penn, and President of the BVI Football Association, Mr. Andy Bickerton. While speaking on the importance of grassroots programs, President Bickerton stressed the need for such programs as they are key to the development of football in the territory. Well, according to Bickerton, 68% of the current national team came from the Schools Football League, which has been sponsored by BDO Limited for some 10 years.
This program, as I said, is the basis of what we've achieved at the BDO Football Association. Our national team now is one of the youngest in this region, the CONCACAF region. That's North America, Central America, and the Caribbean. 17 of our 20-man national team squad, 17 of 25 have come through this program. I think that's an amazing achievement in 10 years. You might have seen some names like Tyler Fields from Seacoast Bay, recently signed a contract with a semi-professional team in England. He's been away on a scholarship from the BDO. Luca Charwell has been on trial with 2 full-time professional clubs, one in the English Championship and one in non-league football. Those are an example to you guys of what can be achieved.
Football has the potential to offer players life-changing opportunities, and referencing the likes of FIFA World Cup winners Lionel Messi and Kylian Mbappe, Premier Wheatley said children in the BVI can aspire to reach similar goals.
But what I want you to know is that Mbappe and Lionel Messi, they started right here. They didn't start in the BVI, but they started off playing football as youth. And I don't want any of you to underestimate where football can take you in life. The president of the Football Association spoke about it, and he spoke about all the opportunities which we are capitalizing on as persons who grew up right here in the BVI, Virgin Islanders. And these persons are getting education, and they're getting an opportunity to have careers in football. And this is something that you should not underestimate. You can go that far.
The Football Association was commended by Sports Minister De Castro for their continued work towards the development of football in the territory.
I want to recognize the BDO Football Association for really being a beacon of hope and really showing us how we can continue to expand upon the grassroots programs in sports and really make it across the board for all sports, so that all children in our territory would be able to truly have the opportunity to try as many sports as possible, to then be able to make a choice on exactly what they want to do and be a part of. So I want to say to you that the Ministry of Education and the Department of Youth Affairs and Sports are currently ensuring that we seek to replicate what is taking place here at BDIFA, as well as what is taking place in track and field, to make sure that on both the primary and secondary level, we have grassroots leagues for all sports in the territory.
Meanwhile, Governor Rankin highlighted the development of women's football in the territory, which he said is evident in the growing numbers observed to be in this year's Schools League.
But I want to particularly to welcome all the young men and young women here, all the boys and girls, and particularly, if I mean, the girls, because when I played football when I was your age, very few girls were taking part in the sport. But as we now know, it's a sport which girls can equally play. It's a sport in which girls can equally excel. And so see so many young girls here as well as young boys here getting involved in football, getting to learn the sport, I think is a fabulous sight which we should also mark and celebrate this evening.
The governor also spoke on the importance of team, as the sport is one that requires the collective efforts from all participants to gain positive results.
And we cannot be successful as an individual player at football if you don't know how else to play with your team. And that, I think, is a lesson for all of us, for governors, for ministers, for all of us know the work you do. But you can't just achieve it alone, but you need to work in a team with others. So I hope that as you develop your skills, you develop those friendships as a team. And those friendships will indeed last you in all your life.
Reporting for 284 News, I am Kamal Haynes. Well, up next, $100 million loan enough to provide the BVI with a first-class infrastructure. And Claude Cline weighs in on upcoming election. Well, these and more stories after a word from our sponsors.
That's out. That's 6. That's out.
With worldwide medical coverage and affordable premiums, we're like a home match that isn't played at your actual home. CG Insurance. Good like that.
My turn. Oh, come on, guys.
There are many ways to enjoy life, like so many ways to count on Popular.
Father Jesus, that line here long like church service.
Alright, you enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top up power?
Welcome back, viewers. Well, a loan amount of approximately $100 million is believed to be enough to provide the BVI with a first-class infrastructure that it rightfully deserves. Well, Deputy Premier and Minister for Communication and Works, Honorable Kai Reimer, made a declaration in a recent House of Assembly session. Well, he said the time has come where the BVI has no other choice but to borrow to accelerate their infrastructural development works.
We have been biting off in manageable chunks, but the day has dawned where, in spite of our challenges, we have to accelerate our efforts. This is why, Mr. Speaker, this government, led by our Minister of Finance, is proposing that we borrow so that we could accelerate these infrastructural development. How much, Mr. Speaker? If it left to me, I mentioned we need about $100 million, he could give me that. We could get those works and we will have our first-class infrastructure that we deserve.
While Minister Reimer said that he has come to the realization that the level of works needed to the infrastructure of the territory cannot be funded by any government surpluses, whether present or in the future.
We are transitioning our Virgin Islands, and we are doing so in so many ways. We have always recognized that large infrastructure projects such as road reconstruction, renewable energy, water and sewage network, port development, etc., could not be funded by current or future surpluses. Naturally, this will hamper the progress of development. Slow and delayed development would invariably negatively impact our livelihoods and the future outlook of these Virgin Islands. but we are on a sustainable development path.
The Deputy Premier also highlighted the importance of infrastructural development in the territory as it relates to sectors such as tourism. He said with data available to project tourist arrivals into the territory, it is important that the BVI is well equipped and prepared to make their experience as supreme as possible.
We continue to see inaugural calls to our shores, and we have been targeting more luxury liners for our cruise passengers. And I must acknowledge the team for their work in terms of getting these calls to our territory. They say 6 in 10 of each and every cruise passenger return to the shore that they visited on a cruise ship as an overnight guest. Mr. Speaker, that's important. 6 out of 10 cruise passenger return as an overnight guest. So it's important that we have our facilities up and going, Mr. Speaker.
Social commentator Claude Cline on his show Honestly Speaking has once again publicly given his take on the Virgin Islands' upcoming election. Well, on a recent episode, he spoke candidly about when elections will take place constitutionally.
Here's what we know, based on our Constitution, based upon our election laws. The House of Assembly has to be dissolved on or before the 12th of March. It has to be dissolved on or before the 12th of March. Why is that? Because in 2019, when you went to the polls and you democratically elected the then Virgin Islands Party government, their first sitting was on March 12, 2019. That would be the completion of a full term.
Well, he also spoke about who he thinks the country needs at this point.
I believe that the people are going to be looking for a couple familiar, experienced, steady hands to get in the cockpit and land this baby so that we can regroup, assess, continue to make the hard decisions in the protection and preservation and perpetuation of the people of this country, no matter your immigration status or no matter your ethnicity. That's what we need.
Well, Cline heavily spoke against party politics, stating that at this time, the country needs to do away with that type of politics.
And by the way, I told you, I don't think there's no need to emphasize any party. There need not be any party emphasis or emphases in this election, given the climate that we are in. We are like a plane.
Well, he did not hesitate to mention names for possible leadership of the country and an at-large team.
You need some other people. And listen, you don't need 13 people. You need 8. 1 for backup. 7 to fund the government, 1 for backup. You don't got time to go out and find 13 people just to you need 8 people who the people of this country don't have to second guess. They don't have to do much wondering about. They can walk into the booth and put a check mark to 8 people's name and says, your land is plain. And chart a course, a visionary course for this country to move forward. I believe the young lady, so I think Ronnie W. Skelton, Dr. Kedrick Pickering, Ingrid Moses, a former Speaker of the House, She's legally trained, good woman. I think Ingrid Moses, and I think Shayna Smith.
Up next, DDM reminds the public to be ready for possible earthquakes. Kevon Lettsome addresses plans for 7th District, and former AG urges USVI government to continue with JPMorgan Chase case. With these stories, when 284 News return.
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question, it will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
Yo, everything good, Dad?
Aye. This thing got me one way, Daddy.
What do you mean?
Ever since I hook up with this thing, can't eat, I can't sleep. This is the first thing I touch it when I reach home.
What do you really? Hey, this ain't like you know.
Dad, this thing got me staying home, keeping out of trouble me.
Wow. What your name is?
Shit. I talk about my CCT life.
Don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Come to CCT today and sign up for CCT Live to access over 80 channels. CCT Live. Bring it home.
1 month free trial turn into 5. 5 months turn into, well, you know I watching ball. I been watching football. Dad, Nickelodeon, Paw Patrol. I am hooked. Hook, I tell you.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Welcome back, viewers. Well, the Department of Disaster Management is reminding that residents of the Virgin Islands must be in constant state of readiness for possible earthquakes given the territory's position in a seismically active area. Well, more in this report.
On the heels of a reported uptick in seismic activity in close proximity to the territory, the Department of Disaster Management is reminding residents of the Virgin Islands to #be ready for earthquakes throughout the year, as the Virgin Islands is a seismically active area. In a recent statement, Director of Disaster Management Jason Penn explained that while a majority of earthquakes recorded in the territory are not felt by persons, they are frequent. For example, from December 1st to January 9th, the Puerto Rico Seismic Network, which monitors the surrounding areas, recorded 76 earthquakes, with the largest being a 4.35 magnitude event on Christmas Day. Penn noted that the Department of Disaster Management works closely with partners such as the PRSN, the Pacific Tsunami Warning Center, the University of Puerto Rico's Strong Motion Program, and the United States Geological Survey to closely monitor such activity. He added that agreements with these partners allow the department to rapidly receive and disseminate safety information regarding threats that originate from distant earthquakes. Should any event be deemed a significant threat, members of the public will be notified via radio, press announcements, social media, the DDM Alert app, and if necessary, the early warning sirens. The community is reminded that earthquakes can occur at any time and are urged to familiarize themselves with the following tips. Should an earthquake take place, it is important to remain calm. If you are inside, stay there. Move away from ceiling fans, glass windows, and doors, or anything that can fall. If possible, get under a sturdy piece of furniture, cover your head, and hold on. If outdoors, move into an open area away from trees, buildings, utility wires, or poles. During an earthquake, the more you move, the more likely you are to get hurt. Refrain from entering or exiting any building during the shaking. Disaster preparedness resources such as emergency plan templates, emergency shelter lists, and continuity planning templates for businesses are available on the department's website, bviddm.com. Jacka Whitting, 284 News.
Kevon Lettsome, a community leader who has expressed his intentions to run for a seat as an elected representative for the 7th District, has begun a media tour speaking about his plans for the 7th District once elected. Well, he began by being a guest on radio program Umoja.
In the past, we have tried doctors, we have tried the most educated, we have tried the best speakers, we have tried person that can look the part, have dressed the part. And I have viewed those persons before me and even now then Premier as person who has national ambition and a portfolio-driven person. And I believe that District 7 needs someone that will focus on the district, has time for the district, and who is actually from the district and understand the district pain, and someone who is a victim of some of the many issues that are now happening and that have happened in the past throughout that district. And I just want to give my peers, my family, my friends, the person I associate with, residents who live in that district, a valuable option to vote for someone that understands their problem, because they have went through or even gone through some of the same issues and problems that is still there presently. And when they see me, they will see their self in the House of Assembly.
Lettsome took the time to list a number of the issues within the district that he plans to address.
We have issues, a wide variety of issues, ranging from beautification issue, economic issues, healthcare issues, infrastructure issues, and even recreation issues in our village. And those are things that are dear to my heart, and those things need to be addressed urgently, and they need urgent attention. And I personally and strongly believe that right now District 7 don't need anyone right now who's portfolio driven or who even have national ambitions. The time for that will come. And I like to always say, nothing big, stat bigs. So the statement is indeed accurate.
He also spoke about developing more economic opportunities within his district.
A part of my District 7 Do It and Done plan, we have two categories that we're going to drive economic movement, help create jobs in the village, once successful in giving the mandate by the people to represent them. The first option that I'm going to propose to them is a partnership housing program within the 7 electoral district. And I have to bring light to that Nottingham State has a lot of rich history. And from
moving on to a regional story, viewers, where former Attorney General of the United States Virgin Islands, Denise George, is urging the Albert Bryan administration to continue in pursuit of legal action against JPMorgan Chase after a case she filed against the financial services giant without due process recently cost her her job. Well, George had accused JPMorgan Chase of facilitating abuses against women and girls by Jeffrey Epstein. But the lawsuits she filed claimed that the bank turned a blind eye to the sex trafficking operation taking place on Epstein's private island, Little St. James, stating that the bank should have picked up on the illegal activity as part of its anti-money laundering procedures and reported it to authorities. Well, in a statement issued this week, George said that she stands firm on belief that action must be taken to hold entities and individuals who participated in Epstein's trafficking operations accountable, stating, irrespective of their political or economic power or stature, end quote. Well, that is why she said she believes that the lawsuit she filed must continue. Well, she said, and I quote, no institution, organization, or person should be off limits, no matter how wealthy or powerful. The people are owed justice, end quote. Well, George's employment with the Bryan administration was terminated on the final day of 2022, bringing an end to 4 years of working as Attorney General with that government. Well, viewers, that's it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for daily news updates at 284media.com. And like us on Facebook at 284media and 284BVI on Instagram and Twitter. I'm Kamal Haynes, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Have a safe and enjoyable evening. Bye-bye.